Hello teachers out there, this is the second episode of Technology for Teachers, where we find ways of using technology in the classroom, and we also are here to explain some technology concepts that teachers might have questions about or might come across. Last episode we looked at the student-centered classroom and technology and how technology furthered student-centered learning. This episode 2, we're looking at the one-to-one classroom, so we look at what does one-to-one mean, the uses in a one-to-one classroom. If you're not in a one-to-one classroom, what can you do as a teacher? What is happening with one-to-one across the country? And as always on Technology for Teachers, we like to include free online resources that you can use in your classroom today. I'm Stephen Gorbanian. My students call me Mr. G. I'm a 6th grade world cultures teacher in Houston, Texas, looking to give you, the teacher, whether you're new or experienced, are looking at integrating technology in your classroom. So today's episode is one-to-one. So we look at one-to-one means one laptop per student. Some school districts have interpreted this as one device per student. The major organization right now that's working on a global scale is one laptop per child, OLPC. They've actually created a low-cost, durable laptop called the XO, and their kind of goal is to provide each student with a rugged, low-cost, low-power, connected laptop with content and software designed for collaborative, joyful, self-empowered learning. And that's kind of the same push that other school districts are trying to do for their students, is provide each student with a device, either for use in the classroom and also maybe at home, so they can further their learning. So what are the benefits of a one-to-one classroom and its kind of use in a one-to-one classroom? Well, after a 4-year study, 5,000 middle school students in a Texas classroom found that for those engaged in a laptop immersion program, they were less likely to have disciplinary problems, but they're actually slightly more likely to be absent from school than students without a laptop immersion program. That same study found that technology skills of students in laptop programs improved significantly, so much so that after 3 years, low-income students in laptop schools displayed the same levels of technology proficiency as wealthier students in control schools. As always, when you have technology, you don't really need the use of textbooks and paper, so they've actually created savings and reduced costs for textbooks, paper, assessments, and paperwork. And again, we also see a reduction in disciplinary actions. So if you're already in a one-to-one classroom, that means you have one laptop per student. It means they're interacting online, so you want to make sure you teach them a certain set of skills, which mostly you want online safety and protection, and how can they prevent viruses, and also about copyright ethics and what plagiarism means when using online resources. And you also want them to conduct proper online research. You also really want to prevent students using their computer to bully other students online. We call it cyberbullying. And you want to make sure they're accessing online, but they're not on any inappropriate websites, and also they shouldn't be on any non-educational websites. Tablet-based classrooms, there's a big push for iPads in the classroom. I know my school is creating an iPad program where we have several iPad cards where we're encouraged to start using iPads in the classroom. But before you start adding apps to the iPads, you want to ask yourself, according to teachthought.com, you want to ask yourself, what will the child learn from the app? Does the app offer the child an opportunity to practice a skill needed in school? Does the app motivate a child to transfer that learning into a real world? What conversation and collaboration will the app inspire? And again, please comment on this video kind of any additional ways you use your one-to-one classroom. So if you're not in a one-to-one classroom, then what you as a teacher can do, if your classroom is not exactly one-to-one, there's some various options you can have. BYOD we'll discuss next episode, but essentially this is students can bring their own device to class and use their mobile device for learning. Students can also try and share any type of device the classroom does have, so if you do have several laptops, try to double up on them. Try to schedule work in maybe a computer lab at your school or library. And you also want to seek out, if you're really proactive, try and seek out grants for your school or classroom. So what is happening with one-to-one across the country? School districts across the country have continued to push for more technology in classrooms and in the hands of every student and teacher. Los Angeles recently, the second largest school district in the nation, actually approved a $30 million contract with Apple, and they're buying iPads for their 47 schools. That's over 500,000 students, and they're kind of in their first phase of a district-wide plan. Houston ISD, Las Vegas, and Chicago school districts have also seen that they're kind of in the early phase of implementing their one-to-one initiative. As always on Technology for Teachers, we like to include free online resources. For this episode, we're looking at one-to-one. So I put together some free online resources that include kind of this flyer and poster, and you're able to post, and actually in some of them you're able to discuss. Gloxer is a creative post, kind of a one-page summary of anything you want to post on there. So you can use it for maybe after reading, students can summarize and put together a creative kind of outlet, kind of a poster of what they learned from that reading. S'more kind of works the same way. It's a flyer. So again, maybe encouraging people to get out and vote for kind of their citizenship roles, maybe as an example of a lesson. Padlet's kind of fun way of getting people. It's almost like Post-it notes. It's you can make it a cork board, and people can do some online posting and start a discussion on there. And as always on Technology for Teachers, we like to include tutorials, and so it'll be in the description of this video. And again, if you use these in the past, please comment and let us know how you use them and maybe some additional lesson ideas. And so in our next episode, we're looking at BYOD. Like I discussed earlier, BYOD means bring your own device. What can BYOD do for your lessons? How can students benefit? What does it mean for students without a device? And we always like to use the uses of BYOD. And we'll have more online resources that are free for you to start using in your classroom. Thank you. This is Mr. G signing out. Thanks to all my resources. See you guys next episode.